welcome to Calamazag Nursery down in sunny Cornwall. We're a family-run nursery specialising in scented pinks and in species Dianthus. We grow over 100 varieties at our nursery and we'd like to give you a little insight into what we do.
So we have two methods of propagation at the nursery. All of our pinks and our alpine pinks are all grown from mother stock. This is a nice little alpine plant here. We take the cuttings and then we put them into the plug trays, and then about 6 to 8 weeks later, depending on the weather and the time of year, we'll end up with a plug that looks like this one. These are then ready to be potted up, and then several months later, probably about 2 months later, we'll end up with a plant that looks like that, which is then obviously garden ready. So our species Dianthus, they're all done from seed, which we collect from our own plants. So this is actually some Rainbow Loveliness seeds that I collected last summer. So we let them dry out, we let them all fall, and then we sort them out. And I then sow them, obviously. And this is a tray that I sowed in March, and these are now a few more weeks, and they will be ready to be potted up. And then in another couple of months, probably by June, they'll be ready to be sold as lovely scented plants.
So once our cuttings are rooted and they're ready to be potted up, they'll look something like this. We then pop them into a pot like this size. These are then put on the bench and left for about a fortnight, depending on the weather. They then will often get a central spike like this coming up. This needs to be removed so that they will then become nice and bushy. They'll get put back on the bench, and normally in about 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the weather, they'll end up something like this size, which if then they are rooted, which that one is, nicely rooted, they're ready then to go out to customers and go straight out in the gardens.
So we've put together a small selection of the pinks that are currently flowering at the moment in the nursery. As you can see, there's quite a difference in colour, and the perfume really is amazing from them. If we start here, we've got Valda Wyatt. She's a very, very pretty colour, very strongly perfumed, and is great in a vase. And then we move on here. This is Gran's favourite. She was actually bred in the 1950s. She's again very, very strongly perfumed, but not really quite so great in a vase because she's got slightly floppier stems. We move on now. This is Houndspool Cheryl, again very, very good in a vase and obviously still in your garden. Very strongly perfumed, flowers all summer long and very much liked by the bees. Something slightly different we've got is Tequila Sunrise. It's a new variety that was bred a few years ago. Again, it's unusual because it's a single and it's very, very strongly perfumed. Different again on the colour. This is Devon Wizard. It's a very different colour really. Again, great for flower arranging. It's got incredibly strong stems and incredibly lovely perfume. Flowers pretty much all summer. We move on then to Hator, which is this lovely pure white. Again, beautiful perfume, great for flower arranging and also great in the garden. Next to it we've got the lovely Letitia Wyatt. Again, beautifully perfumed, as to be fair they all are. She again is great for cut flowers and in the garden, flowers all season. Next we've got a much older variety, which is, where is he? There you are. It's Hator Rock. Again, quite an unusual colour because of the sort of speckled nature of it. Unfortunately, it does have a slight issue, which is that it tends to, as you can see there, the calyx is split, so the flowers actually split a bit. So not brilliant for flower arranging, but is still incredibly pretty. Then something slightly different, which is flowering and has actually been flowering on and off all winter, is a pink that we bred ourselves, which is called Freddie. This is actually a type of cheddar pink, so it's got a slightly floppier habit. Wouldn't be any good for flower arranging, but is great in the garden and is exceedingly hardy. Again, perfume is lovely. And then next to it we've got a little variety called Little Jock. This one is fully hardy, very, very perfumed, and is flowering itself merrily away. There's a few left to go.
So of all the varieties that we grow at the nursery, they all have a few basic needs in common. They all like a very, very well drained, neutral to alkaline soil. They all want to be in full sun, and they also all like and enjoy a nice high potash feed when they start to flower. Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed our short introduction to the nursery, and you can find out more information about us from the website.